Hey guys, I hope everybody is doing amazing. Welcome back to Thrive with Stride. And I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. And it's the beginning of the week. And it's been a lot going on, of course, as we know. So the first thing that we got to get into is the fact that our gracious Meghan Markle, Princess Markle, she has decided that with the help of Netflix, they will postpone the launch of her new cooking show with Love Meghan until March 4th. Okay? And so I'm actually not surprised about this. I was wondering how is it going to work when it comes to this. I wasn't sure how it was going to go, as she was going to decide to maybe put the show on and maybe run a something that she can say beforehand or something, and say, well, a lot of these places that I've been to while we were filming, a lot of them have probably burnt. A lot of the places that she went to while she was filming probably are not there anymore, guys, to be honest. And we all know this is Meghan's hometown. This is where she grew up. And a lot of memories. That's a part of her life. A whole part of her life that, that's her childhood home. So that's why I don't understand, guys, the people who hate on Meghan, the bots and the trolls and just the people who can't help themselves. I don't understand how they could be so heartless and mean. I don't understand, but hey, if they have a narrative that they want to portray here, so I guess I get it. Because I understand that their number one priority is to make Meghan Markle look like if she is just a horrible, horrible person, and that's all they're doing. That's what they're doing. It's like they are 100% into making Meghan Markle look like she's like the devil. So they're very invested. They're very invested. So now that we know they're very invested, I guess we that love Harry and Meghan, we have to be invested in showing them for who they are. So guys, as you know, World Central Kitchen has been on the ground, boots on the ground, feeding the first responders and feeding people who need food. And of course, we know Harry and Meghan have been there, and they have been rolling up their sleeves. They did this anonymously. Nobody knew that Harry and Meghan were there the first day. Nobody knew, which is what they usually do. Oh my God, guys, look at the shrimp on that. Can you imagine? Have you guys ever received I don't know, have you ever seen the food that people usually, when it's a free situation, when it's free food, have you ever seen the food look like that? No, I've never. With those big shrimps and stuff, it's wow. I think that's amazing. They are cooking like if they're cooking for a 5-star restaurant, and that is how it's supposed to be. The people are supposed to feel special when they eat that food. They're not supposed to feel like if it's charity. That's not how they're supposed to feel. They're supposed to feel like if you put everything into it. And I think that's amazing. We could all learn a little something from World Central Kitchen, the way that they serve their food. Because I've seen food that is supposed to be for maybe a shelter or something, and it doesn't look like that. It does not look like that. Let's put it that way. But guys, I have a lot of videos in here. I am going to be talking until we see the video. When we see the video, I'll talk about a little bit of what has been going on here in the video and stuff. Because I put a few videos in there, and I wanted to play them and let you see some of the stuff that's been going on. And yeah, so just letting you know. And let me tell you, Harry and Meghan, they rolled up their sleeves and went to work. It is funny to me. It's funny to me how the haters, how much they have to say how much the haters have to say when it comes to Harry and Meghan. It's just funny to me. I can't believe how much vitriol and like it takes a lot to hate. Have you ever noticed that? It takes a whole lot to hate. And now that I'm talking about that, actually, I did say something the other day that's I think a well-meaning squatty. I maybe think she kind of she's heard it the wrong way or something, but this is not what I meant. Okay, I did say maybe Harry and Meghan, because I was kind of concerned for them, and I was thinking, with their kids and everything, that maybe they might have certain parts where it's just for them, and that's what I was kind of implying. I didn't mean anything like Meghan would do that, but here we are. Here we go. Here's Harry and Meghan right in the back, and this newscaster didn't even realize that was Harry and Meghan. They were talking about California governor's wife, Gavin Newsom's wife, right? Mrs. Newsom. But they didn't realize that Harry and Meghan were there. No, they didn't. They had no idea. Which is so interesting. It's amazing. And I just think that's so ridiculous. Like, it's so amazing that they did not realize that was Harry. That was Prince Harry. That is so funny, right? But yeah, so I wasn't trying to imply that Harry and Meghan, and the person was like, oh, Harry and Meghan would never do that. And I did not mean to say that Harry and Meghan would cordon off their home from people. That's not really what I meant to say. But I was more saying it in the way of, I'm sure they have spots where their children will get to stay without
this very same kitchen.
A committed humanitarian
people coming and seeing them and stuff. Anyways, also take a look at this video here.
We've learned that she is someone who's also very sincere in her advocacy for charities. Is that something that you were aware of when you were making the show?
I remember
this
early
is the kind
on,
of person.
I think it was season 1 or season 2, she realized when we were finished with the crew lunches or dinners that a lot of times they were throwing the food away. And she thought it was crazy. Why are we throwing food away when there are people that are hungry around and we could give it to them? She'd gone up the chain to try to get this food to be given away to people that were hungry. And there was some sort of policy or insurance or some bureaucracy that was getting in the way. And Meghan, this kind of sums up Meghan. Yep. She sees a problem. There's some sort of impediment to it that doesn't really make sense. She decides this impediment is harming people that are hungry from getting food. And I don't know how she did it, but the next thing you knew, we gave the food away to the hungry people.
Oh, and look, here's Chef Jose. Oh, giving hugs. Oh. Yeah. And that's the Pasadena Mirror. Here he goes.
This is their second visit today. We were here earlier today, and they were serving food anonymously. No one knew they were serving food.
Kind of hard to see this anonymous.
With masks.
They're so recognizable.
Well,
with masks.
With masks on and anonymously, and they didn't come out here for publicity. They came out here to work, and really they just wanted to be supportive. We visited with some of the affected families in some of the burned out areas in Pasadena and Altadena. They took the time to meet the people that are affected and spend time, and they're just very caring people.
I love the fact that he let it be known. There you go. That's a Sky News video, guys. Even Sky News, and we know Sky News is so horrible to Harry and Meghan. Even them, they're following them and putting up videos about them and stuff. It's so funny to me. They usually hate on Harry and Meghan, but here's some more video here. Yeah. You can see Meghan is so touched by this whole thing, because this is where she grew up. Yeah. 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 So I love the fact that the mayor of Pasadena, he let it be known that Harry and Meghan, no, they did not do it for publicity. Harry and Meghan don't have to do anything for publicity. They just have to breathe. They're just breathing and they get publicity. Let's put it that way. Harry and Meghan do not need to do anything to get publicity. So let's just get that out there to begin with. And then when it comes to this whole thing, remember, this is where Meghan was born and raised. She was born and raised in LA. Different parts of LA. I don't know exactly where she lived. I don't need to know that. I don't need to know all that. But I know that this is where a lot of those places that she grew up, places where she grew up, are not available anymore. Yeah.
Handing out food. So they just arrived here not that long ago, and we were alerted to the fact that they were here. Earlier today, we also had an opportunity to grab first partner Jennifer Siebel Newsom, who was also giving out food. You see, there we have a better shot of Princess Markle as Meghan, as she's wearing that LA ball cap and talking to some of the volunteers. Not a lot of big fanfare for their arrival, obviously. I'm sure they just wanted to come and offer support
that Harry and Meghan were there first.
Well wishes.
Nobody knew.
As they are hanging out with the commoners, I guess. That's one way to put it, huh, Marla?
Yeah.
And again, I just see the backside of Chef Jose Andres, whose World Central Kitchen has been so generous in making sure that evacuees have food and first responders as well. So other than let me just see, I don't...
Let me just tell you this, Susan. So, Prince Harry and the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, they've already opened their home, $14 million home, by the way, in Montecito, which is, 90 miles north of the Palisades. They've opened their home to their friends who have, been forced to...
So the American media have been trying to be fair. They have been covering Harry and Meghan fairly as you can expect. The British media, however, are trying their best, guys. They're trying their best to do the thing that they normally do, which is try to paint Harry and Meghan in a bad light, no matter what Harry and Meghan do. It's very simple. But so long and short of the story that I want to get across to you today is that I did when I said that maybe they have areas cordoned off for just them, that the last thing I thought was that somebody would think that I'm saying something bad about Harry and Meghan, or that I was trying to imply that they are being ungracious, or something. That's not what I was trying to imply. I was actually thinking about more the kids and, and their privacy. That's what I was kind of thinking about. But, hey, sometimes you say things because you know what? I don't write everything down when I'm talking here. I don't, there's some people who have a very curated videos and they write a script and they have it all curated really nicely. That's not how I choose to do my podcast. I can do it sometimes, I don't mind, but I think for me to be authentic, I prefer to do it this way. And I think I may suffer because of that, because maybe people prefer the curated script written down like a journalist type of reporting on Harry and Meghan. And if you want that, there's a lot of people who do that out there. There's people who do it so beautifully and so perfectly. Some that I like. I love Alicia Key Reviews. She is like a journalist. She does it perfectly. And there's other people and Claire Kane, she does it perfectly as well. Everything is so curated and beautiful. There's people who do that. I do something very different. I speak from my heart. I speak on the fly. I So I will make mistakes sometimes, and I will say the wrong thing. I might sneeze, I might cough. I don't bother about editing it out because it takes forever to do all that. So just let you know, yeah, that's the way how I do it, and I may suffer because of it, because I may lose some viewers or something, you know, because of that, because everything's not perfect, but hey, I'd rather be here on being authentic and just talking like this than to do things otherwise, because it wouldn't be authentic to me. So I would rather do it this way, even if it costs me viewers, or, you know, even if it costs me in the end. I'd rather be myself and be not as perfect or curated. And if you like that, and if you love me, then you do, and if you don't, then you don't. It's very simple. So yeah, I'd just rather be me. Yeah, I think I've thought about, you know, the way to do this podcast, and I think this is the way I prefer to do it, where I'm natural and normal and myself, and you know, that's how I prefer to do it. Everybody is different. Some people love to do the script thing and make it perfect, and that's beautiful too. I love to watch those as well, because they don't miss anything, because they read everything down and they make sure they say everything that is on the paper. So everything is perfectly done that way, and I think that's great too. There's room for people to do things differently. So when I do my podcast this way and everything is not so perfect, I will say things out of order, or I may say something, or I may repeat myself. Anything like that is possible to happen, but you know, like I said, there's space for everybody here. There's space for people who do the podcast the way I do it, and there's space for people who do it the other way, which is the very you know, make sure everything is perfect way. So yeah, so you know, everybody, it's just a choice. That's all it is. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to say, hey, I did not mean anything about Harry and Meghan when I said that. And I find the best way to deal with things when it comes to this channel is to deal with it head on, because I've had people criticize things that I've said before, or things that, you know, and I think I've lost a lot of viewers because of that. People may say, oh, don't watch her, she's not, you know, she's not a real fan, or she's not this, or she's not that, you know, all this stuff. Trust and behold, if I wasn't a real fan of Harry and Meghan, I would not be here. We don't make anything. I don't make anything on this channel, to be honest. So I do it like it's almost like a hobby for me. I love doing it. It's like a hobby. So you know, if you look, you'll see. If you notice, I don't get a lot of views on here because I'm doing it the way I want to do it. But yeah, so just letting you know, you know, if I say something, you can ask me about it, tell me you don't like it, and I appreciate it, but don't hold me to the fire because of it, because I'm like, okay, I'm talking on the fly, I don't do a lot of editing and all that, and you know, that's how I choose to do it. But anyways, guys, yeah, I just wanted to explain myself a little bit better here. Yeah, I fall on the sword when I do my podcast, because of the way I do my format that I do it in. Is not so curated and scripted. So I will say things that may bug somebody, or you may not like it, or whatever. No, and my intention is not. My intentions are not to say or do anything that's harmful to anybody, especially Harry and Meghan, or anybody who comes on here. So just letting you know, my intention is good, and I'm not perfect. There you go. I guess that's a long and short of the story, guys. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for coming through. And if you want to support my channel, you know how to do that. And please remember to like, subscribe, and share, guys. And I will talk to you in the next one. Have a great one, guys. Bye.
Earlier today, just their presence here says something. It says that people care. people care about each other, and that's something that it really is giving a lot of people hope that has lost everything right now. We also talked to Pasadena Mayor Victor Gordo earlier. He shared with us how Harry and Meghan really are an example of so many others wanting to help their neighbors. And then I spoke with Roy Choi. He was here earlier today. He said something about food that was pretty profound to me. He said, when you're a cook, all you think is about is feeding people, and this is our calling in life. And so when you have people show up like Prince Harry and Meghan Markle show up and say, we want to help people that are hurting right now, that says something. That speaks volumes to people in a way that is often unsaid. Just that simple act of kindness of providing people food, and so many people here. It's just about the people that are right inside that building right now. Let's turn around the Pasadena Convention Center. You know, we haven't gone in there yet, but again, 1,200 people displaced, losing everything. And so really the story here, it's an example of a shared humanity, neighbors helping neighbors. And that's something special right now. When people have little to hold on to, that's something they can hold on to right now, that people care about them. Guys, back to you.